Enzo Maresca must be waking up with a beautiful headache this morning. A headache that every manager wants. You had Nkunku scoring a hat-trick. You had Pedro Neto scoring his first goal. You had Mudryk getting an assist. João Felix balling out and getting an assist. Malo Gusto back playing and getting an assist. Minutes for Achempong, Tyreek George, Guiu, Carney as well, getting minutes. And then the under-21s beat Bromley away 3-2 in the EFL trophy. Perfect night for Chelsea, Enzo Maresca and the players. And there's absolutely no reason why us as fans can just smile. Just have a smile on your face, because the past 2 years, it's been tough. And since Maresca's come in, I want to give him his flowers because he deserves it. Since he's come in, we've seen an identity. We've seen his ideas unfold up in front of our eyes. And the beauty about it is every player is chipping in. Now, I always say this. You've got a squad and you've got a squad for a reason. When you make changes, you want the player that is coming into the side to do exactly the same or near enough the same as a player that's coming out the side. Chelsea made 11 changes last night. 11 changes, and when you make so many changes, usually the fluidity, the rhythm, the chemistry, the playing style is different. But last night it wasn't, and that's the beauty about last night. It's not about the opposition who were playing. It's not about, oh, can this player take on that player? Can this player individually perform? It was about a collective. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see players making the right decisions at the right times, and it looks like Enzo Maresca is coached that into the players. So you need to give him his flowers. Enzo Maresca is not there to tell players how to kick a football, tell players how to take on a player. He's not there to do that. He's there to tell players when to make decisions at the right time. And if you see somebody moving that way, you go this way, because it moves the opposition and it gets you striking. And that's exactly what we're seeing last night. But what I'm seeing from Enzo Maresca is he's tactically adapting Chelsea. Although it's the same philosophy, he's tactically adapting Chelsea based on who he's playing. Now, let me give you an example. Chelsea are not one-dimensional anymore. If they need to overload the right-hand side and attack down the right, every player knows how to do that on that pitch. If they need to go centrally, every player knows their role. If they need to attack down the left and overload the left-hand side, every single player knows their role and responsibility. And that's a beautiful thing. Now, let me show you this. Let's just see if I can bring this up for y'all. Right. This is Barrow's average starting position, right? You can see it's very compact centrally. They look to overload that central position. Now, against West Ham, they wanted to provide width. So Enzo Maresca pretty much used the central areas to go through West Ham. Now, last night was a bit different. And I think having a right back, Malo Gusto, back, fit, and natural right back made the difference. Look at Chelsea's positions here, right? You've got Renato Veiga, Ballin and Disasi providing the cover at the back. Look at Malo Gusto, how high his position is. Look how high his position is. That's where the overload came from. Obviously, Enzo Maresca has watched tapes of Barrow, didn't take them lightly, and knows they compact the central areas. Now, although Chelsea got some bodies in there, that's where the overload came from. And that's having Malo Gusto playing so close to Neto freed up bodies in here. And that allowed João Felix to find those pockets of space. That allowed Nkunku to move into the channels. And it worked beautifully. We need to give Enzo Maresca his flowers because he's identified a weakness in the opposition and he's exploited that. Although not every attack came from the right-hand side, the beauty is we attacked them from every single position. Centrally, the first goal. Neto's goal, Mudryk got the assist come off the left-hand side. When Malo Gusto assisted Nkunku was from the right-hand side. So what I'm trying to say is it was a collective performance, and that's the best thing about it. Now I've give Maresca his flowers. I want to give a few players their flowers because of that emphatic win on the weekend against West Ham. These players come into this game thinking, no matter what I perform, I'm more than likely not going to play on the weekend. Because how can you change? Maybe Malo Gusto back at right back, but apart from that, it's very difficult to change any of the start 11 that started against West Ham because they're produced. So they deserve to start against Brighton on the weekend. Now, these players come in this side last night and thought, no matter what I do, it's going to be difficult. And Nkunku's scoring a hat-trick, and yet he might not start on the weekend. That's how difficult it is to get in this side because of the depth and the level of talent at Chelsea at the moment. Now, to touch on the performances, I thoroughly enjoyed the whole overall performance. They moved the ball quickly, they were sharp, they were decisive, they recycled possession when needed, they were patient, and when the moment or chance came, they took it, and that's all you can ask. Nkunku's first goal was beautiful. Beautiful build-up play. Viega into João Felix, where he picked up those pockets of space. Nice turn on the ball. Over the top for Nkunku with a first-time finish. Beautiful. You cannot ask for any more because the players are playing to their strengths. And that's what you do as a quality side. Two players I want to touch on. Pedro Neto, I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was decisive when he wanted to be. He got in behind. He moved the opposition. Very, very, very well performed last night. João Felix, he's a beautiful footballer. He is a beautiful footballer. Just his caressing of the ball, his weight of pass, his intelligence just to play between the lines. It's beautiful to see. Now, when you've got that level of player as a B team, that is insane. That is insane. Now, Mikhail Mudryk, let's talk about Misha. I thought Misha, I want to give him his props because he performed tremendously last night. Now, in my pre-match review, I said I wanted him to do the simple things well. That's all you can ask. Once you start doing the simple things well, everything else will come. Now, it looked like he had a lot more composure about him. He was making decisions before the outcome. Now, before he received the ball, it looked like he knew what he wanted to do. Now, people will say, look, it's only Barrow. But it's not only Barrow. It's not about that. It would have been so easy last night for players to think that way and think it's only Barrow. I want to take on 5 or 6 players before trying to hit the top corner. That would have been so easy to do. But the maturity in the performance and the professionalism in the performance was second to none. You can't ask for more as a fan. Now, getting back to Misha, this is what we wanted to see. Maturity in his performance, maturity in his decision-making, making the right decisions, and playing simple. Simple football is so effective. I don't think people realise. Just recycling possession when you need to. Be patient in your build-up. Getting in behind when you need to. When you see a space opening up, you exploit that space. Don't hesitate. Don't second question yourself. Might not always come off, but you've tried and you've given it 100% rather than receiving the ball and having two minds and getting caught between two minds. Be decisive. Might not always come off, but you've made a decision and you're sticking with it. And that's what I wanted to see from Misha. And 9 times out of 10, he got the decision right yesterday. Now, the perfect example of what I'm trying to say is that assist for Pedro Neto. Think back to last season. What would Mudryk have done in that situation? He would have took an extra touch, maybe went out wide and slowed the pace down and just not believed he was good enough to play that ball across. Or he would have took a touch and had a shot at goal. That's what we would have seen in Mudryk of last season. But he's made the right decision. And you need to give him his props. You need to give him his flowers and say, he had a good game today. He's probably walked off that pitch and thought, I didn't do anything spectacular, but I didn't need to because I contributed to the overall team's performance. And that's all you can ask from a player. Yes, there's going to be times where he wants to take risks and maybe take on a couple of people and do something spectacular. That's all right, but do it at the right moments. And football is all about decision-making and movements. That's the simplest way, because, like I say, Enzo Maresca's not there to tell him how to make a 5-yard pass. It's all about the choices he makes with that 5-yard pass. Now, what fascinated me as well is the relationships on the pitch. For a team that just got put together in a new 11, the relationships on the pitch were really positive. You had João Felix linking up with Nkunku. You had Neto acknowledging the movement of Felix. It was just beautiful to see. Now, the final couple of players I want to touch on is Casadei. I thought he was brilliant in the middle of the park. He controlled the tempo. He broke play up when he needed to. He was disciplined in his performance. And again, that's all you can ask. Just play your role, do your individual role well, and that will complement the team. And he did exactly that. And then the final one I want to touch on is Carney. I thought he was brilliant when he came on. It's strange because when I watch Chukwuemeka play, it's kind of like a Maresca type player. That's what's baffling, because I've got no doubt in his quality. Absolutely no doubt he's got quality. Yes, he might hit one in the top corner. I mean, the top corner of the stadium. But his quality is there to see. He does have quality. Now, if you can teach him the discipline and the defensive side of the game, you've got yourself a little monster. Now, it was good to see Achempong, Ty, Mark Guiu get some chances. It was unfortunate that Tyreek George couldn't have put away that chance. But that's football. It won't be his last chance, and his time will come. He looks good. He looks confident. I thought Achempong looked good, physical. I think he needs to learn his positioning a little bit better. But the signs are absolutely there. Signs are absolutely there for a top player. Now, if there's one negative I've got about last night, it's nothing to do with how the team performed. It's more that Washington didn't get a chance. Washington had 0 minutes. I would have loved to see him come on, even for 10 minutes. Just give him a run out, because he could have got some valuable experience playing against Bromley and for the under-21. So that's the only, if I'm nitpicking, that is the only negative. But yeah, you've got to be impressed by what Maresca's done. When you consider all the background noise behind him, what he's doing on the pitch needs to be applauded. Now, there's some much bigger Chelsea content creators out there that are still negative. I can't get my head around, because yes, you can say, oh, it's only Bournemouth, it's only West Ham, we drew against Palace, it's only Barrow. This is Premier League football. Don't take wins for granted. Trust this, because if you're not on it or have a tactic to beat the opposition, you will be found out. So you need to give Maresca his flowers. Look at Leicester. Since they've come into the Premier League, they've looked miles off it. Now, their fans are not happy with their manager, because even last night against Warsaw, they looked lost. The performance was abject. Now, they went from Maresca to Steve Cooper. Now, I haven't watched every single minute of Leicester's games, granted, but when you hear their fans speaking, they are not happy. They've been saying that they've lost their identity. So the fact that another props to what Maresca's doing at Chelsea. Now, I'll reiterate, there's going to be moments where it doesn't come off. There's going to be moments where we do get beat. There's going to be moments where we drop points when we shouldn't. But that's okay. That's football. That's sport. You just move on. You try and stand up the adversity. And that's exactly what Chelsea are doing on the football pitch. So you need to give them credit. Finally, it must be tiring being negative all the time. Surely that's tiring. Just smile, enjoy it, because these are the moments you want to. Yes, it's only Barrow, I get that. But winning breeds confidence. and winning breeds a winning mentality. So we'll look at Brighton on the weekend and think, yes, we can beat them. Brighton are a very, very difficult game. They're unbeaten this season, but why not? We've got good. The whole squad must be full of life, full of confidence right now, and that's a beautiful and dangerous thing. So if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because there's going to be many, many more videos, and I'll do a match preview of Brighton on the weekend, so make sure you look out for that. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks very much for watching, guys.